everybody, welcome back to the Always Bayern Chelsea show. Today I'm recording this one here on Saturday, March 29th, right after Bayern Munich's crucial victory over St. Pauli, 3-2 in the Bundesliga. We're back. The international break is over. Bayern Munich obviously suffered during that international break with a lot of injuries. Alphonso Davies, Dayot Upamecano, Manuel Neuer. Our defense is in shambles, but we got through it today. We got the 3 points and remain 6 points ahead of Bayer Leverkusen in the Bundesliga table. They beat Bochum yesterday, so again, just a crucial win for Bayern Munich today. We're going to talk all about it in this episode here, but before we start, just a few housekeeping items. Right away, you just got me today. It's Danny going over the Bayern Munich match here, but typically, our Always Bayern Chelsea show includes my co-host Jim, who's the Chelsea fan. Chelsea is not playing this weekend. I believe it is the FA Cup weekend over in England, so Chelsea being out of that competition. I want to say they play Spurs during the week, but Jim will have you covered for all of that stuff Chelsea related. For now, we're talking about Bayern Munich, and yeah, again, before I start, a couple big videos just dropped for us. I put out the State of the Season address for the March international break for Bayern Munich, so really going over the entire season so far, how things are going for Bayern as a whole, how Vincent Kompany's doing, how each individual player is doing. I make predictions as to how the season's going to end up. I rate really all the teams in the whole Bundesliga and all of our players and Vincent Kompany. So there's a lot to go over in that video, and that's kind of a lot of work to put those together. So I think it's a good one. I'd appreciate it if you want to check it out. But also, we dropped our 100 subscriber special video. That one came out last week, and you have until really the end of this week to subscribe and comment on that video if you want to enter the giveaway. So hopefully you are seeing this video right when it drops, so you can go ahead and do that. And also, coming up here, I don't want to spoil anything, but I will say that we're going to have a cool collaboration episode with another FC Bayern Munich channel, an international channel, not from the U.S. and also not from Germany. So, again, not going to spoil anything, but I'm really fired up about that one. I'm really pumped about that one. We did a test the other day, Friday, so I guess yesterday when I'm recording this. And, yeah, it seems like all systems are go, and we're going to record that most likely next weekend. So, again, just stay tuned for that. Subscribe. We got tons of cool stuff coming. But, yeah, without further ado, let's talk about this match. Again, thank you for being here. Thank you for subscribing. All that good stuff. I'm going to start off now by listing the lineup that Vincent Kompany went with for this match against St. Pauli in the Bundesliga. Again, back from the international break, and I struggle to call it a break because most of Bayern Munich's starters were playing multiple matches, so there's usually that kind of malaise and that haze, if you will, that comes off of an international break for teams like Bayern, where all of their good players are traveling and playing multiple matches. So the lineup that Kompany went with, really not too many surprises, maybe one or two in there. But yeah, we saw Jonas Urbig in between the sticks because Manuel Neuer re-injured his calf injury that he picked up against Bayer Leverkusen in the Champions League. He re-injured it when he was coming back, trying to make a comeback from injury, over the break. And I obviously I'm not a doctor, so I don't want to go into detail here or make any crazy claims, but it is a recurring theme now that we're seeing with Bayern Munich, where players are trying to make a comeback from injury and they suffer a setback. So I don't know what's going on with the medical staff there. I think, obviously, I'm not here putting on a tinfoil hat or anything, coming up with a conspiracy for you, but it is concerning, I'll say that. And just throughout, really, this season, we've seen a lot of weird, what should I say, maybe gamesmanship with injuries for Bayern Munich. We haven't heard anything about Kingsley Coman, and all of a sudden he's out for this match, he's out for a while, and I don't know. It's strange to me how players are having setbacks, how injuries aren't reported truthfully up front, and I'm not going to go much more into it than that. It's just strange, to say the least. So back to this match. Yeah, Urbig got the start there, and I thought it was an okay match from Urbig. I actually thought he had a number of really nice saves, but he didn't look as confident or as sure of himself maybe as we've seen, and maybe that's because he's coming off of an injury himself. He, I believe, bruised his foot or something like that too not too long ago. So we have that. It also could be because this back line, of course, with all the injuries that I keep harping on here, this back line has not played with each other really, and clearly there was some big lapses in communication, obviously missing leaders on that back line like Alphonso Davies, like Manuel Neuer, like Dayot Upamecano, and so I'm not going to say all the mistakes were Urbig's fault. I thought really not much he could have did on that first goal. Second goal, he could have reacted a little quicker, I thought, but I think his vision was blocked, and I also think that the shot was potentially unsavable anyways, so yeah, there's that. But yeah, we saw Konrad Laimer start at the right back position. You could go with Laimer, you could go with Stanisic at this point, but Kompany seems to like Laimer. He seems to like his aggression, his just spirit, I think is the word that comes to mind when I think about Konrad Laimer and how he plays the game. So yeah, you had Konrad Laimer get the start, and you had Eric Dyer and Kim Min-jae as the center back combination, and you had Rafael Guerreiro as the left back. Like I said, not really a good game from the back line. I don't think any of them stood out to me as having a necessarily particularly good game. I think Rafa Guerreiro looked incredibly shaky at left back, and I think Guerreiro has a purpose in this team. I think he's a good utility guy, but I don't think he should be your starting left back. I think you have to look at sliding Stanisic over there now that Ito's injured again, or if Ito is able to come back, starting Ito over Guerreiro. I didn't mind Guerreiro starting this match because St. Pauli is a team that typically plays back a little bit farther, very solid defensively, and then looks to go off the counter. So I don't mind starting Guerreiro in a game like this. Same with, honestly, a team like Augsburg, who we're going to play next week. So I didn't mind the inclusion of him in the lineup, but the more and more we see him at left back, the more and more we just see that I think he's not up to the task to play left back. Positionally, he's not great there. As a defender, he's kind of a liability. So while he does contribute in other ways, his defense just isn't great. And then moving up to the midfield, we saw Joshua Kimmich and Leon Goretzka get the start. Again, it was like an okay match from the midfield, but it wasn't anything special. I mean, Goretzka and Kimmich playing multiple matches for Germany over the international break. I'm sure these two are tired, and I think it kind of showed today. They weren't bad by any means, and I don't think the defense was necessarily bad by any means either, but they just weren't as good as they usually are. And, maybe that's partially them being tired. Maybe that's partially just the overload in kind of the numbers, that the way St. Pauli was playing, they had the number advantage in the midfield. So really, how much can you expect from Kimmich and Goretzka? I'm not sure. But luckily in this game, we did see the attack really step it up. And the first half was slow, I think, slower for the attack. But by the time the second half rolled around, this attack really put together a great performance, comprised of Michael Olise on the right wing, Jamal Musiala at the 10, Leroy Sane at the left wing, and Harry Kane at the 9. And yeah, like I said, this attack, this was one of the best I've seen all four players play in the attack. Super fluid, very unselfish, a lot of good runs, a lot of interlapping play, and this is how it's going to be. Or I should say, this is how it's going to have to be from now on, because the numerous injuries to the back line, how banged up they are, we're going to need the attack to play like this if we want to win the league, if we want to advance farther in the Champions League. We just are. The defenders, like I said, haven't played with each other very much. There's going to be breakdowns in the defense. There's going to be lapses in communication. But if this attack can play like they did today, I like our chances. Because, yeah, really all four of these guys just turned it up. I mentioned Kingsley Coman was injured, but I think you're going to have to go with this attacking foursome from now on. you're just going to have to ride it. If you're Vincent Kompany, you're going to have to play Kane, Olise, Sane almost every match, in my opinion, unless you want to change up the formation, unless you want to bump Musiala out to left wing, which I do advocate for sometimes. If you don't want to do that, I think you're going to have to just ride this foursome, because today they clicked, and you're going to just have to give them that experience together. Obviously, the three, Olise, Kane, Musiala, have a lot of experience together, but that left wing has been a rotating door of characters between Sane, Coman, and Gnabry. So I'm saying just stick with Sane at this point. I mean, the man had 2 goals today. Great match by Sane. Kane had 2 assists. Kane had 1 assist and a goal. Olise had 2 assists, and Musiala was involved in the goals and was just dangerous throughout the day. So that's what you're going to have to do, in my opinion, and you're going to have to hope that they play like they do today and they don't have one of those matches where Kane's a little bit slower, Musiala's dribbling into defenders, Olise's lacking vision, and Sane's just underwhelming. You're going to have to hope it's not one of those days, and it's one of those days like we saw today. But getting into the match a little bit more, St. Pauli surprised me in the start. They started off very aggressive, and I like St. Pauli a lot, so I do watch them as much as I can. And typically, this season under Alexander Blessing, they are more of that counter-attacking team. They have such a solid defense, but they really just don't have a lot of goal-scoring threats. They try to go off the counter a lot, and they're very good at that, but they don't have a lot of possession necessarily or like attacking instincts, whereas last year under Fabian Hürzeler there was more of that. So it surprised me when St. Pauli was kind of pressing as hard as they were with their front 3 or so players. It just surprised me. I didn't expect it. They still had kind of that mid-block going with the back and really the huge overload in the midfield, but those 3 top players just pressed a lot harder than I thought, and I think it really it led to some uncomfortable situations for Bayern's back line, specifically Guerrero, as I mentioned, where St. Pauli looked pretty good right away. Goretzka had an opportunity at a header for Bayern in the first 10 minutes, but other than that, it was kind of St. Pauli was, not creating huge chances, but there was one that Urbig had to save. There was one that was off the post. So, we kind of saw things start like that. And I thought in the beginning, like I said, I thought Guerrero was particularly struggling at his defense. But then we did see things open up in the 17th minute by Harry Kane. I'm calling this the moment of the match because I think if Kane didn't score this goal, things could have turned out differently. I'll just say I think the whole match could have been flipped on its head and we could have saw a very different result. So we kind of see this goal from Kane here, a very nice assist from Michael Olise, but Kane buries it, and it just seems like an instance of Harry Kane taking the season by its horns and forcing his way into a trophy. I mentioned this kind of in the Champions League, where first match against Leverkusen, even the second match too, Kane just took over, and it was one of the most impressive performances I've seen this year. I would say the Leverkusen match, but it was reminiscent of that to me, where it's just like Kane showing, in my opinion, the world that he is the best player and that he's going to dominate a season, he's going to dominate a league, he's going to dominate a match, and he did that. I'm not saying this is LeBron James on the Cavaliers way back when, before his first stint on the Cavs, but it was reminiscent of that to me at that point in the match, where Kane just kind of took over, and I think about LeBron, and Jim will get a kick out of this if he watches this. I should say when he watches this, because he's going to watch it, but Jim's a big LeBron fan, and LeBron's been in the news lately, so I'm a fan as well, but it just reminds me of that level of dominance where one guy just takes over the game and says, enough with this, I'm going to score, I'm going to put our team on top. But unfortunately, 27th minute, so 10 minutes later, St. Pauli did equalize, really off of a horrible defensive breakdown. I mean, this was one of the worst defensive sequences I've seen from Bayern Munich all year, and it was clearly just a blatant miscommunication. It happened because Kim was way too far back, and he held St. Pauli onside, basically. And it's funny because usually Kim is overly aggressive, and people are able to get by him in the other sense, just by his positioning. But this time he was too far back, held St. Pauli onside, and Dyer clearly thought that Kim was next to him or in line with him as Kim should have been. So Dyer lets the ball go, Kim lets the ball go, and all of a sudden it's a free goal for St. Pauli. Just, again, a lack of communication, defensive breakdown, because these guys aren't used to playing with each other. And this is the type of thing that we just got to shore up, because as the season heats up, you can't really afford mistakes like this. We certainly could not afford mistakes like this at this stage in the Champions League and even in the Bundesliga. So this is the type of thing that hopefully, we work out the kinks now and it gets better from here. Shortly after that, we did see Kane score a second goal, but he was offside, so it did get disallowed, unfortunately. We go into halftime 1-1, and like I said, a slow start for Bayern. I was concerned because this was the third match in a row where they were kind of struggling against a bottom table team, and that's no good when you're trying to close out the league. So was hoping for a better second half and really got it. I think, like I said, the attack just turned it on in the second half and things looked a lot better. We did see a sub at halftime. We saw João Palhinha come on for Leon Goretzka, and at the time I thought that it was because Goretzka had played all those matches for the German national team, had been racking up the minutes for Bayern, and so I figured it was more of a tactical thing by Kompany with the way St. Pauli was playing, also overloading that midfield. But it turns out Goretzka is having some back discomfort, some back pain, so we're going to have to see what happens with that. And Bayern said it was nothing serious after the match, which means absolutely nothing when it comes to Bayern Munich saying injuries are nothing serious. It could be nothing serious, or he could be out for the season based off of how Bayern reports. And I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole again, but I'm just warning you cannot take anything Bayern says seriously at all in terms of injury news. So a little bit worrisome there, but going to hope that Goretzka is fine. 53rd minute, we saw Leroy Sane put Bayern Munich ahead with an assist from Michael Olise. So Olise getting the second assist for the match there. And it was really a great find. Awesome find by Michael Olise there, and a nice finish by Sane. He kind of had to control the ball and then just, like Leroy Sane does when he's confident, just blasted it, 1,000 miles per hour into the back of the net, which makes it really hard to save. Any shot with that much pace that's not directly at the keeper is incredibly hard to save. So, good control and good goal from Sane. Love to see Sane looking confident. And in the 57th minute, then we saw Hiroki Ito come on for Rafa Guerreiro. Great sub right there for Kompany. I thought bringing in Ito shores up that defense a little bit more, and you don't really need Guerreiro as much at that point in the match, / I don't think he was even really contributing that much anyways. So good subs there, for Kompany. I think he was good with the subs today in general. I get what he was trying to do, lock things down defensively there, get Ito some run. In the 71st minute, we saw the third goal come again from Leroy Sane, and really a great assist by Harry Kane, a great find there for Harry Kane. An incredibly unselfish move by Harry Kane, finding Sane for the assist there. And, I say this a lot, but I really think Kane is the best player in the world. I believe that with every ounce of my being. I'm even wearing my Harry Kane jersey here today, so hey, check out the video episode on YouTube and subscribe to see this jersey here. But I've said it a million times, but Harry Kane just does it all. He took over this match, and very unselfishly, I think a lot of strikers, in fact, I think almost every striker in the world would look to shoot in this instance, but instead he slides the ball over to Sane, who slides the ball in the back of the net. And awesome stuff from Leroy Sane here. Again, getting a brace, looking like the confident Sane of old. If we get Leroy Sane to be as consistent and as lethal as he was in the first half of last season, this attack is going to be one of the best in the world. If you have Sane, Olise, Kane, Musiala working together like they were in this match. And again, it's St. Pauli. I do think St. Pauli is a strong defensive side, but they're obviously a lower table side in the Bundesliga, so maybe not as strong as Inter, who are going to be facing here in the Champions League. But nonetheless, if we have these four guys working together like they were today, interlapping, overlapping, just the whole 9 yards, interlapping and overlapping. Kind of funny to say that, huh? But you get the point, right? If you have these guys being as creative as they were, if you have Sane as confident as he was today, rocketing shots in, if you have Harry Kane taking the bull by the horns, if you have Michael Olise cutting in with his left foot, putting beautiful cross after beautiful cross in, and if you have Jamal Musiala, magician, dribbling through the defense, the ball on a string attached to his foot, making defenders look like dang fools, it's going to be a fun rest of the season. So, and like I said, we're going to need it because of how much the defense is hurt. So yeah, at this point, you're feeling pretty good if you're a Bayern Munich fan. 78th minute, Serge Gnabry comes in. Jamal Musiala goes off. 84th minute, Thomas Muller and Josip Stanisic come on. Harry Kane, Konrad Laimer come off. Again, good subs in my opinion. You're getting some of these guys rest who were playing nonstop throughout the international break. You're getting some other players minutes here. No complaints at all from Kompany there. We saw a handful of flurries of good attacks for Bayern Munich as well. Musiala hit the crossbar, I believe. And yeah, it hit the inside of the crossbar. And, just a number of good attacks from Bayern after that third goal. But, they couldn't get a third one to fall. And in the 89th or 90th minute, we saw what is really just a shame, really a sad moment. We saw Hiroki Ito go down, non-contact, grab that foot that was previously broken this year, and limp off and was unable to finish the match. So Bayern Munich was down to 10 men because Vincent Kompany used up all of his subs at that point. And yeah, it's just sad. I don't know what's up with Ito. I'm not going to pretend like I know what his injury is, but it's just sad. It didn't look good. It doesn't look good right now. Maybe by some stroke of luck, he will be okay, but he's going to get an MRI done on that foot to see what's up with it. If Ito goes down, I'll play left back for Bayern Munich. Obviously, Alphonso Davies, Hiroki Ito are starting two left backs. Down injured. You could slide Josip Stanisic over there. He's played that position before, but Kompany seems pretty reluctant to use Stanisic at all. Adam Asnu is on loan right now in La Liga, so you don't have him as an option anymore. And it's looking pretty grim. I'm not going to lie. It's looking very, very grim for Bayern Munich's defense. If they want to go far in the Champions League, if they want to take their, really take it to the league and win the league, they are going to have to do a lot of just banding together and a lot of defending as a team because, wow, this defense is hurting. This back line is really hurting right now. So Bayern's going to have to, just dig deep if they want some silverware this year. And I think they're capable of it. I certainly do think they're capable of it. But it sucks that these guys are all going down right now when we need them the most, really. Obviously, it's a long year. There's too many matches. There's international matches, club matches, and I don't think Vincent Kompany necessarily managed the squad as best as he could this year in terms of just running certain guys into the ground when he didn't really need to. I hope it's a learning experience for him. I'm by no means pointing fingers because, again, it's a complex situation with all the matches. Obviously, players' salaries keep going up and clubs need to pay them, so they need to make money off matches and whatnot. So I'm not pointing the finger anywhere, but it's just something to point out, right? Like, if we got these guys more rest earlier in the year, maybe they wouldn't be getting injured now. Maybe they still would. So, but also maybe they wouldn't. And that's really a way of armchair quarterbacking it, but I just hope Kompany kind of learns from this next year. I hope the world of soccer learns from this. I hope some of these players learn that, we do need to take a rest sometime. So, That's almost how the match ended, but we did see St. Pauli actually pick up a goal in the 93rd minute there. Really good goal, just perfectly placed through Eric Dyer's legs. I mentioned earlier, I don't think Urbig really saw it well, but he reacted late, and it was maybe unsavable anyways, so a good goal there. And a little bit stressful at the end, as Bayern Munich tends to make these games. But again, they were down to 10 men because Hiroki Ito couldn't finish the match. So, yeah, there was that. And now we kind of turn to Augsburg in the Bundesliga next week, Friday. And then after that, we face Inter in the Champions League for the quarterfinal. And then we face Dortmund. And then we face Inter again. So, man, it's a lot of fun right now cheering on this Bayern Munich team. 7 Bundesliga matches left. Bayern is 6 points ahead of Bayer Leverkusen. They need to essentially win 5 of them to lock up that title. I think they could win maybe 4 and draw 2 or something. I don't know. There's some math you can do there, but essentially 5 wins guarantees you the league is how I'm looking at it, because I'm assuming Leverkusen's going to keep winning. I think you have to assume that if you're a Bayern fan. You can't think that it's okay to drop points. So that's how I'm looking at it. Good win today, crucial win, 3 points. Thanks for checking this video out. Thanks for hanging with us. Thank you again for 100 subscribers. Check out that giveaway video quickly if you want to join, and check out the state of the season, because again, put a lot of work into that video. Jim will be back providing coverage for Chelsea, and stay tuned, subscribe, because we do have that special collaboration international video coming out soon. I think that's about all I have to say here about where Bayern Munich stands. So I will send it off now with a Mia San Mia, forever and always.